Hi, we're gonna check this out. Interview ERRA Pillow Talk with Jesse and JT. Let's check it out.
Script. And we'll...
Oh my god, that
How
is
many?
so funny.
How many
That could
movies
be-
do you think you know the full quotes for, though?
No, we print it out, so you've got the script,
Oh.
and we just like table
Like
read.
we
and
did
see-
we did the trivia,
Yeah.
and we could do a table read instead. That'd be
Hurrah.
fun.
That'd be great.
That would be, dude. Your thumbnail plus the title. It's like ERRA reads Step Brothers script, something like that.
No.
You
See,
gotta call me
What?
Dragon.
Yeah.
no, something
exactly.
like The Notebook.
Oh,
And-
something dramatic.
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
sure.
You just want to make out, you slut.
Yo!
Dirty.
Hey, there's Dusty too.
You're a bird, I'm a bird.
Where's here?
Enter. Oh wait, you can't
Can't
get in.
enter. I can enter.
I've been to hotels before.
He's gonna.
Oh,
We're gonna
geez,
set
came
the
in
scene
eating
up for him.
sexier than before.
Take a shower.
Funny that.
You didn't tell me we were getting handsome for
Get in
this.
here.
Like, what the fuck?
Oh,
Oh, no, you're in
You're in
bed.
the bed.
I'm on the uncomfortable
Yeah.
Format.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Oh my gosh, so cool, man. God
Get in
damn.
here.
Came
The
in
scene
eating
up for him.
sexier than before.
Take a shower.
Funny that.
You didn't tell me we were getting handsome for
Get in
this.
here.
Like, what the fuck?
No, he's
Oh,
sitting
no,
there.
you're in
You're in
bed.
the bed.
I'm on
Where's-
the uncomfortable
Yeah.
thing.
Format.
Yeah.
Hold on. Jesus.
Yeah.
Well, he's got to get into his bed.
No, we're
clothes.
getting personal.
No, so Gary takes his pants off. Now I'm ready.
Yo, what the fuck?
Is the hat blocking like my eyes or?
Not at all. This is surprisingly fantastic.
Sweet.
Everything looks really good.
It looks crisp.
Yeah.
It looks clean.
Crisp.
Not
And
as clean
there's
as
room
people
around
who've
to-
had showers, but
A rumor of light?
beggars can't be
Yeah,
choosers.
you know what? I'm actually stoked with Leonard because he's gonna smell fantastic to sit next to.
You can't smell through the lens though.
I'll take my shoes off.
Don't worry about the lens.
Well, the bed, might as well.
Do it. I
People
just
aren't going
have
to
a-
judge you.
I'm keeping mine
Who's gonna
on
judge you?
because what's underneath the shoes nobody wants to experience.
Yeah, that's
Toes.
Toes. This.
You never know.
Not
Like,
these
you'd be
dogs.
surprised how many people
Dude,
would
this
like
guy
an
reminds me of the dude with the juicy butt.
ERRA toe OnlyFans page.
of I mean the
Yeah, we look.
This
The guy with
is
the-
my bed, I don't give a shit.
Jesse, we just had an idea for the channel moving forward. Is we print out scripts and we do table reads for famous movies and things.
We'll just do that.
Yeah.
We'll just act out the scene.
Just act out the
Between
scene.
them.
Yeah.
He
No
suggested
one wants
the
to-
Notebook.
The problem with
You
that.
did the
though-
scene where you run into them, they jump into their arms and grab.
What
and
do you
then
want?
Someone's just with a water
What do you
can
want?
pouring water.
Oh my god! Why are you all wet?
Yeah.
It's raining.
Yeah, you get into the show and then, oh, we just had an interview. It's
I was gardening.
Should I like put my phone somewhere else?
no,
No, that's fine.
this is the
Yeah.
most relaxed.
We also have a lobby call at 3:45.
Yeah, so we gotta
Yes.
be.
Yeah.
We gotta be
Yeah.
quick.
Well, we're on. We're recording. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We're back with our friends, Jess and JT.
Hello.
hey,
Alright,
let's go.
From a bed.
Yeah, if you haven't read the title here, we're going to talk all about the brand new album.
Pillow talk.
Because, yeah, Pillow Talk.
Yeah.
But we don't get to do this very often where we actually get just bro out with our friends and talk about the things they've created.
It's because they live on the other side of the world.
I know!
Everyone in Australia is already sick of us.
Yeah, that's true.
No.
Hey, he travelled to see me in the States. That
I
means
did.
he's not
I rode my
serious.
first train for you.
What?
That sounds weird.
Had you not been on the train there?
I've never been on that train before.
Oh, that is fun.
Yeah, it
Thanks,
was
man.
fun. It was easy. It was painless. It was fun.
I like that. I like that.
Did you see any interesting citizens?
No, it was the good train.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like a
Not the weird
yeah,
train.
not like a local crappy old
Yeah, man,
station.
that train. That was
What
cool.
was that?
What the fuck?
Yeah. Album, new album. We've got it. We want to talk about it because this will be your first time talking about it.
They don't know that. But yes.
Yeah.
Well, no, I'm asking. This is.
Yeah.
Wait, have you guys had a chance
Other
to talk
than
over there?
No,
between each
not
other.
really.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're recording. Haven't talked once since.
Yeah, this should be the first one.
Great, I love that. That's exciting for us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe not for you guys.
Exclusivity.
Well, yeah, but we'll sit on this and hold it.
You know, I
until
should
the end.
probably, I should probably, I should probably take the time and look at the lyrics for that album.
I hope so.
We're not getting any handy hints there.
Mm.
I like doing that though. I feel like it's cool. We've done it a few times. We've been able to sit down and have more of a hangout session, talk about it, because then we're not very professional, as you guys know.
Yeah, I feel very vulnerable in this position right now.
You wait until I swan dive across both of you.
don't know if I can trust you guys.
Oh,
I feel
you
the
can't.
room
You
heating
know
up.
you
50% of us is untrustable, but you don't know who it is. I played nice.
We were saying how
Angel.
Nathan kind of blends in with the sheets, and he's wearing all black, and he's like, you know, the devil
devil.
and the angel
Yeah.
over here.
That makes sense. I'm also kind of wearing white.
Yeah, we're gonna work this out.
Yeah, let's do this.
We're gonna fuck you guys up.
If anyone's fucking people up here, I am infinitely stronger than that. I've been training for this moment.
Yeah.
Anyway, I want to talk album because
Yeah.
we've had a while to listen to it, a
Mm.
bunch, which is kind of cool. Although through stupid streaming systems that are hard to remember the names, so
Yeah.
you have to bear with us here. I might have to pull the phone up, but
We had some fun with the names on this one.
yeah.
Did you?
I mean, we like,
Let him finish what he was saying.
No, but I don't want to have like a question answer thing. This is just like a conversation. So yeah, hell yeah, tell me about that. I want to know. I want to hear stuff that you don't have to do in interviews normally. Like, use us as the preparation before you actually have to talk to real people about it.
Use us as your emotional punching bags.
no, what I say earlier was like, this was the prep for the corporate call.
Yeah. Yeah, you can work out being like, oh, I like that answer, or I'm not talking about that again.
You're
I'm
just
not,
the
I'm not
work.
doing the corporate calls.
You're just
I'm,
workshop for future interviews.
I'm only talking to you guys.
Okay, great.
This is the only interview.
Yes, that is. I like that. Yeah, talked about the song titles. I will say, it's still, from a tracklist perspective in the names of them, it sounds like a continuation, or it still sounds like ERRA songs.
Mhm.
There is a certain tone, and the lyrics that you use in songs are very clear in the song titles as well.
Oh yeah.
He's trying to go. It's a roundabout way of saying that you sound smart.
Well, actually, though, truly,
A little bit more wordsmithy than a lot of bands. It's a little bit deeper.
you used the word
Yeah.
alabaster in one of the songs, and I had to look up what that meant.
This one's like, I feel like more, I don't know, dark, I guess.
Mm.
It
I
has
feel like
a darker tone.
Mm-hmm.
It's very somber in
Yeah. I think the sound of the songs, like Glimpse is like a pretty sad sounding song, and I mean most of the record, like if you just read it top to bottom, like it does read kind of like, ugh.
It doesn't feel like. It doesn't feel.
like ugh, and like my over is just like, this feels,
Darker?
I don't want to say negative, but like I think a lot of the movies and books that I was ingesting at the time of writing it were like pretty like bleak,
Bummer films.
nihilistic subtext and stuff, you know, like, which
Okay.
I'm definitely not a nihilist or anything, but just exposing my brain to that much stuff kind of fucked me up a little bit. Like, not to do the whole like when the artist gets too close to the project thing, but like it really did. I feel like I'm like different now. Like,
Are you conscious that when you like consume it, being like, oh, this is making me feel away?
yeah, I had to stop reading this book. Have you guys seen True Detective season 1?
Yes.
Yes.
It's like
the
the
only,
best.
it's the only season I've watched of that show.
It's
You'll
the
be
best.
okay.
It's the only one.
It seems like we're gonna get like more darker music from them.
Gosh.
It's fine.
But at the same time, I mean, it's gonna be like what?
Russ
3-4
Cole's
years?
character is influenced by this book called The Conspiracy Against the Human Race.
Unless they do like the world
And
unknown type
a
of
lot
stuff,
what he
singles and all
says in
that.
That movie, like his like really bleak, nihilistic quotes are kind of like lifted from that book. But I had to stop reading that book because it was just like so bleak, and I didn't agree with any of it either. Like it's like it's so negative. Like it's this guy Thomas Ligotti. He's this horror writer, but he's an anti-natalist. Like he thinks we should deny our programming and stop reproducing, which is in
Yeah.
True Detective, where like Russ Cole's like we should walk hand in hand, brothers and sisters, into one last midnight, like to walk to our extinction hand in hand or
Wow.
something like.
It's not the most
It's
uplifting.
some
No.
level shit.
No, yeah, I had to stop reading that book because I was like, this feels like a virus that I am like willingly saying enter me to, and it just felt incorrect, and I had to stop. But yeah, so that's kind of the vibe of the record. It's like Slow Sour Bleed is like very like there's like a lot of like little tips of the hat to like Russ Cole. Russ Cole's my favorite fictional character of all time.
Yeah. Well, like I said, that's my favorite track on the album so far.
Really?
Yeah. I just think it hits differently, and maybe now I'll look at it differently going back.
True.
Knowing that. Which is always
Yeah.
an interesting thing as a consumer and which is one of the reasons why we love having these in-depth conversations about albums, because I feel like the best part about music and lyrics, any sort of literature or art or movie, is a lot of the time you can make your own interpretation. Music, mostly, because, you know, over a book or something, it's spread out, it's explained, there's character development. In a movie, it's the same, a TV series, but with a song, you've got 3 minutes and maybe only 2 minutes of those has words, and the choruses are repeated, so you get to make your own interpretation of what they're saying in this mini story. So I always like getting a more in-depth idea of where a song comes from, and then going back and listening to it and seeing if that knowledge changes my view of the song at all.
Yeah.
If that makes sense?
Yeah, for sure. And with songs, there are like less rules as far as content.
Man, for me, I feel like that's why I love music a lot, because, you know, music, it could be up to anyone's interpretation of like what it means to the listener and all that. So, you know, a good example of that would obviously be the Drake Bell type of stuff. In the end and all that, like, you know, some people would have thought that as like a depressing song or like a love type of song, but, you know, now that we got the context of what Drake Bell was writing about, it's a different meaning. So, you know,
Repeated, so you get
music
to
is
make your
interesting.
own interpretation of what they're saying in this mini story. So I always like getting a more in-depth idea of where a song comes from, and then going back and listening to it and seeing if that knowledge changes my view of the song at all.
Yeah.
If that makes sense?
Yeah, for sure. And with songs, there are like less rules as far as continuity. You know, you have
And also
to, you have
even
to
like
have
the logistics of how like some of your lyrics particularly, they don't follow like a here's the story, follow along.
right.
And so like in a book, if you did that, they'd be like, what the fuck? I don't like
Yeah.
it because it doesn't make any sense.
But-
Whereas a song, you kind of expect that a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. Because I used to think that you weren't supposed to do that. Like Circus Survive has like really random lyrics. So does like the Mars Volta. And that
Mars
kind-
Volta has really random everything.
Yeah. Well, it kind of changed my perspective because like I was like, oh, this is, I think I like this better. But yeah, because sometimes, you know, you'll touch, like JT might have a section where he's talking about this thing, and then my section I'm talking about this thing, and they kind of like overlap or whatever. But
Is it hard to marry those
Continuity
ideas
is-
up sometimes, or
I
you
just
guys
don't
have just
think
got
it's-
so
Well,
well?
we tried.
it's-
I tried really hard to try to marry them, but then I kind of stopped, and it made it better and easier and less stressful, honestly.
I,
I think I put too much pressure in trying to like make it super cohesive, and I just kind of let the song kind of speak for itself.
it depends on the circumstance of the song.
Yeah,
But I think that I think it's become less of a priority.
yeah,
As long as each individual line or collection of line, like, you know, like, as long as I can read each line of it and feel good about that on its own, I'm not really too concerned about everything just like being like strictly to this one subject
Yeah.
or whatever, because like I don't know, like
When you talk about like the album having a tone and overall being like a darker tone,
yeah.
is that something that you like? You're saying there, like you're not really considering what the next thing is, as long as this bit you're happy with. But then if it all sort of ties in together,
yeah.
is that just because
Yeah.
that's the phase you're in, and no matter what you're writing, it's all along the same feeling?
Yeah, and then that's why record, because each record's sort of a moment. It's kind of just like capturing whatever moment we were in during that time they were writing those lyrics, you know.
Yeah.
It's because this one, yeah, I was like reading that fucking book, and then I was watching this movie. The name of the record is it's named after this movie. I was watching this like Ari Aster. He directed Hereditary and Midsommar and stuff. He was doing like a Criterion Collection Closet Picks YouTube video where they have directors come in and like just like pick DVDs that influence them and then talk about them.
Right.
But he grabbed this movie that I never heard of and he said there's an argument to be made that Kiyoshi Kurosawa's Cure is the greatest film ever made. And I was like, well, I gotta watch
Guess
that.
I gotta watch that.
Because Ari Aster, like, I love movies. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna watch this movie. and it like blew my mind, and it is pretty. It's a bleak movie, and it's so good. And I was
Wait,
like,
what? Cure? Hey, if if Jesse likes it, I want to watch it. I think it's the Cure. Let me see.
Like, that's the name of the record, Cure.
Never. I don't even know. He's mentioned this before. I still have never seen him.
Yeah.
Is
But,
this something you would recommend to other people?
Oh, this one.
Or you're
It
gonna
is.
fuck them up?
Both, probably.
Oh, I think he posted this on his IG stories. Oh, yeah, he did. What? No way. Okay, I gotta watch it.
It is something I'd recommend.
Viewer discretion advised.
It's like it's a lot of people will hate the way that it tells the story and the way it ends. It's like, it's like an art house kind of movie, but like it's a movie you'll think about for a while and read up on, but from there I just kind of like went down the rabbit hole with just consuming content like that, and just like, I don't know. Yeah, so the record does read kind of like, ugh. But
Well, it
it
sounds
ends on a
great.
good note. I read, like, after we were, like, when we were tracking in, I read all the
Dude, them talking about the album is like really giving me the urge to really re-listen to the entire
all the
thing.
lyrics. We had the track listing. I went through and I read just like the first song, Cure, just top to bottom, all the way to the last song, Wave, and like I really liked the way it read just like on paper, and I liked how the whole record is just like very bleak and melancholy, but then the last like 2 lines of the record are positive, and I was like, yeah.
Does
That's
that
the good stuff.
I
Just like,
win.
just like a little flicker of light in the darkness, you know?
Shit, that's a lyric. Does that? Do you think about like what's next?
Like post Cure.
Yeah, I know this is like a stupid, crazy question because you're like the
The
album's
album's not even
out.
out,
It's
yeah.
gonna creep up sooner than we think.
That's
for
exactly
sure.
it. And like, does having that as like a
Deluxe?
final note?
He's
Like,
always got something in the chamber ready to go. I'm sure.
Final notes.
having that as like a final.
Creep up sooner than we think.
That's
for
exactly
sure.
it. And like, does having that as like a final note?
He's
Like,
always got something in the chamber ready to go. I'm sure.
I don't know. I mean,
Dude, I mean, Jesse made an album for Ghost Atlas. He made an album for ERRA. Like, yo, goddamn.
I like these lyrics the most. I think these might be my favorites, but I don't want to like. I don't know. I went to like a weird place, like writing this shit.
What weird place are we going to next?
I don't know. Hopefully something a little bit lighter. You know what I mean? Like, there's not really a song like Vanish Canvas on the record, like where it's like, oh, this is a hopeful song.
yeah. Just playing. I mean, Nate, you obviously haven't played any of it. You played one song of it live so far.
Yeah.
But is that something that you, from experience in previous albums, like putting that music out there and be able to share it, and as Johnny said before, like people kind of make up their own stories about it. Maybe people aren't going to get that like nihilistic approach from it.
I think a lot of people don't even listen to the lyrics.
So do you think with that,
Yeah.
it's going to change your perspective of the songs and where you wrote them over
Yeah.
time? Like, has that happened with previous, like off self-titled, were there songs there that after a while you play them and you're like, this now means a different thing to me because we played it this way, and seeing the audience react to it, I don't view it in the same way. Does that make sense?
I guess it's possible. I haven't really
I
come
don't.
across that though.
I actually disconnect from the meanings of the songs and the origins of the compositions in the live setting. So
Sure.
So the performance is its own entity.
Yes,
Yeah.
for
the
sure.
entire-
Mhm.
Like
yeah.
that's why I love performing, because it's kind of like detached from the whole like mental deep dive of trying to get the lyrics right. Because yeah, a lot of people don't care about lyrics, but like I care so much about lyrics, and like the fact that a lot of people don't care about it makes me want to like put more work into it. Because I'm like, well, this is like a piece of the writing process that is like very often overlooked or viewed as not important. So it's like this is like an opportunity to like be a band that really dials that in
Mhm.
and cares about that part as well. But in the live setting, It's just about their performance. It's like just about the instrumental and the way the song feels and flows. And
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
that interaction with the crowd.
Also, not to dumb down the
but-
scene, but you are in a scene where people are just like waiting for the breakdown.
Exactly.
So,
Yeah. But with that said, last night in Brisbane, I did feel kind of connected to a lot of what we were singing about on stage, just because I've just been anxious lately. So like, I feel like I needed the show more than usual.
Yeah, cool.
So I think like my anxiety kind of propelled my performance to be better, because it wasn't just like, oh, it's time to go out and do our job. It was like, I need
Need to
this
go on
today.
stage,
That release.
Yeah.
That's a kind of cool thing to have that as a consistent thing to use as a tool to.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it's so weird when you like take like 3 or 4 months off, and then you're just like, sometimes I don't know how to be home,
Yeah.
you know, and then I like kind of like forget that I do this thing, and then we go back out and do it, and I'm like, oh yeah, like this, I feel normal.
This is
again.
fun. I
Like,
love this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Talk to me about. This is so Jesse focused. I'm so sorry, but you can contribute after.
I'm
We'll
chilling.
get there.
You
Your
know,
vocal tips.
you know I can talk.
I do. We talk. We talk. But I do want to like. I want to talk about your vocals in this because I feel like your vocal tone is you've taken a new approach to it, which I think puts you at the best you've ever sounded. And this is not to blow smoke.
Agreed.
he actually said, "Wait until you see how much I blow smoke." When he said it.
Watch me do a joke.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
compliment him so fucking much. But actually, I feel like your range and your tone sounds so natural and comfortable in this. Do you feel that performing it when you're recording it, or is that a conscious
Yeah.
thing?
I wonder if people have the same thought process of that, because I did see like some comments saying that some people were saying like he finally doesn't have like that high pitched vocals, and you know, to me, I actually really enjoyed it. Like that was literally the first thing that got me into ERRA was Jesse's like more higher pitched vocals. I mean, you know, the lower pitch is it's not bad at all. I mean, it's enjoyable, but you know, for me, I like both sides.
Actually, it's a lot of it is like lower.
Yeah.
Yeah, I noticed that.
But that's
massively.
it's actually less comfortable. And I know a lot of people, like people who are accustomed to, people who think of my singing and they think of higher range, you know, Anthony Green, Cove Reaper kind of singing vocals, they will, if they're looking at it just from that lens, they might think that this record, there was like an intentional drop off.
Yeah.
But
Mhm.
but it wasn't. It was really just about like doing the kind of vocal that seemed appropriate for the song. You know, like in a song like Idlewild or Pale Iris, that's like a more traditional style era chorus. The song Into Excess,
Yep.
especially, Wave, like, so there are moments where it feels like it's in that comfort range of sort of what people are comfortable hearing me sound like. But then there's songs like Slow Sour Bleed to where it's like, I'm not gonna sing that. Like I should not sing this chorus. This is not that kind of song. It just kind of called for like a lower sort of verse. And Cure is another one where like Cure, you know, we were just like, it just needs to be more of like an instrument. Like my chorus, like it's more of like an instrument. It sounds kind of like more like a guitar lead, and we just buried it in reverb and delay, and it kind of has this. It's just about like creating a vibe, and that's kind of how a lot of the songs sort of. That's sort of what they called for, was just sort of like an atmosphere layer versus a big, powerful, catchy chorus. Glimpse is another great example. Like, I love the chorus of Glimpse, but it's like so understated and quiet and like haunting, and we liked it so much we like did the outro with it, and it just like loops on and on and on. You kind of get lost in it. Like one harmony starts getting a little bit louder while the other one the main starts dropping out quieter, and they're like kind of moving around.
Yeah, there's a lot of,
my favorite
like, moving parts
Yeah, one of my
Yeah.
favorites.
in the vocals through that. And I noticed that as well, because one of the first things I noticed was there was that lower register. It was a bit more sort of 50-50 on you guys with the vocals. But then, again, like we see you furthering what you do vocally as well throughout the album, like much more than you've ever done. Was that like just because you wanted to try more of that sort of stuff, or was it what the song's called for, or did you want, you know, a more sort of melodic vocal but a different tone, or sound to Jesse's parts because it would add something different to that part of the song?
I mean, all of that really. Kind of exploring what we have on the record already, what we have on that song, what complements the part the best.
Yeah, we really are just going part by part, song by song, piece
like
by
looking
piece.
at it as a
Where like,
whole.
Yeah, okay.
yeah, where it's like all right, this is where we're at with the song. What is appropriate here?
Mhm.
Like it's not like it's not like us being like, what if we?
JT doesn't have a part here; he needs a part here, type of thing. You know,
It doesn't sound-
It's
no,
not
it
like
doesn't
it's
sound
not
like
like
that at all,
that. It's
yeah.
not like that.
It's not like this song is gonna be the ballad. This is the one that we're gonna
Yeah.
push to,
Yeah,
to the
sure.
radio, or like this is gonna be the one where we this. It's like let's just start writing the song and then see what
See
it
where it
calls
goes.
for, and just let it take shape on its own kind of thing.
I feel like
Yeah.
the harmonies as well, like you said there, when you guys are harmonizing, particularly when you're doing cleans, it's a much more like, because your tone's a little bit lower there, it's much more interchangeable harmonies. So like you can, I think because we know you guys so well and we've listened to so much, we can hear, but there are moments where I think someone new to the band might be like, I don't know which one's doing that vocal.
Yeah.
there,
Yeah,
that
for
harmony.
Because you're stretching your range in quite a lot of the parts as well. Which
Me?
is, yeah.
Yeah.
How are you feeling with all
Put me-
that sort of stuff?
Put me through boot camp.
Yeah.
It's good though.
I
I mean, it's
learned.
good.
You getting more
It's
comfortable
good.
with that sort of stuff? And
Yeah, for sure. I mean,
Yeah.
from a year or two ago versus like this past year, I've done a lot more singing live.
Is it to the point now where, not to say that you weren't enjoying it before, but are you in a comfortable position enough where you're, less worried about, am I going to nail this live, but I'm really looking forward to doing this live? Or is it something you don't think of and I've just put a shitty idea in your head?
No, I mean, I like to crush even the deepest bellow growl as I do like the soaring singing part. Like they all deserve 100% focus. I'm very, very particular about like nailing everything, and I get bummed when I have to bail on something live. But yeah, some of these songs will definitely push both of us.
What songs, and this is, I want individual answers, currently are you most excited to share live?
Crawl backwards for sure.
Mhm.
I've just always just been a sucker for the heavy songs.
Yeah.
Yeah, that song's dope.
I mean, I'm excited to think about like the visuals for some of these too live.
Yeah, sick.
I actually kind of like the songs that are a little bit easier to play live, and that one is not that easy actually.
No, I've said that, I regret it.
Yeah, crawl backwards is like, it's gonna be sick live, but like, I'm excited about Slow Sour Bleed.
Yes.
That one for sure.
One of my
That was
favorites.
fun.
Do you have different ideas on what you're looking forward to playing live the most due to the fact that you are doing vocals?
Dude,
and guitar?
I really hope they
Yeah.
play Vanish
So it's hard to
Canvas.
kind of pick one.
Yeah, the songs I enjoy playing live are the songs where I get a little bit of a respite from doing wearing so
Anything.
many hats. Yeah. Like Scorpion Hymn is like a really fun song because I don't have to sing, and the riffs are mostly just like groovy, like low string riffs and stuff. So I can just like, I like to be more physical on stage. Like I like to, do like stage moves and like
Super
run
villain vibes.
around.
Yeah, we've seen you.
You're super
Yeah,
villain.
that's my
Medical
favorite.
super villain.
That's my
Villain.
favorite. That's what I like to. That's when I'm having the most fun on stage is when I'm like able to run around and hop around and spin around and go to the floor and fucking wiggle around and stuff.
Sometimes I'll be on the riser and have to check my periph to make sure he's not sliding across the stage behind me.
There he goes! There he goes again!
That was that stage presence was probably like a result of just being like, oh my god, like playing the songs where I'm just like so hyper focused.
Yeah,
and,
for
I'm
sure.
like singing, especially back when I used to use a pedal board because like.
Oh,
You're hitting
yeah.
pedals for delay to get a solo, and then you're like going up to the mics. You're hitting pedal and you're singing. You're like, there's just so much to do and think about. So, I like doing that too.
On guitar
but
solos
it's-
as well. I love how you managed to convince the guys to let you have a guitar solo on the second song of the album as well. It's just like, just a shreddy solo. It's like, there he goes.
The solos. I'm glad you brought that up because that was another thing where like we were just doing what the song was called for, and then or what each song called for, and then the result was that there's only one solo on the record, which someone's gonna not like that, but like, but that's just the way it turned out. Like it wasn't like a plan. It wasn't like no solos on this record. Like remember Metallica had that one record.
Yeah.
They're like no solos.
And Kirk's just like, well, I guess I'll go fuck myself.
Yeah, like there was no conversation like that. It's just like that was a part in the record where I was like, there needs to be a solo here, And then after the record was done, I was like, that was the only moment on the whole record where I felt that way.
How does it go as a unit, as the band with that sort of stuff? Is there any like conflict or hey, I really want to do this, you didn't write a part for this thing, or is it very much like sick? That's just what we're doing, and we'll get in and.
Connor will speak up whenever he feels like because I think Connor's probably the most attuned to the fan base.
Yeah.
So if he feels like there's like too much of a neglect from what people like have come to like want and expect out of us, like he'll definitely like bring it up to me and be like, like you haven't really done this, or like people are gonna talk about it, like if you're cool with that, you might want to do this or whatever, or like, you know what I mean, like and then I'll consider that, and we'll
Do
go
any
from there.
songs come to mind on this album where that was the case and a part was added or a moment was added?
Well, just kind of the record as a whole just being so like rhythmic oriented. Like it's there's more like the way I've been putting it is like, as far as guitar, like there's a lot of like right hand technicality where usually where the
I
left hand
noticed that as
technicality
well,
comes
which is
in.
why when we checked out the song, like I was like, oh, my sugar, like you had
Yeah.
that pattern, and then there's a lot of that sort of Tool-esque sort of
Right.
style riffing.
Right. That's just been the sort of the mode that I've been in. So I just, it's more of a groovy sort of like rhythmic record. So that was something he brought up where he was like, some people will wish that there was like, more solos or whatever. And I was like, I was like, I'm okay with that because I think I really like the songs.
I think as well with the live setting, because so much of your back catalogue has that stuff.
We have so much of that stuff.
As you intersperse more
I don't know. For me, I feel like the album was perfect.
and more of the newness into it, it's going to allow there to be more highlights
It's like,
for the people that want that.
I feel like there was a lot of solos in there,
Groovy
so
it's going to give it more like an even balanced set list, I think.
It's a big
Because
head.
you're still going to have those
Been good.
moments. So like we talked about before, like that line of people being like, I like your old stuff. That stuff still exists. He add this in now, it's going to give like a full flavoured meal.
Yeah.
I'm hungry.
Every course.
It's to me it is a different sort of record for us, and what's so funny is that there's still people that'll hear it and be like, I saw something like somebody like made a post or a tweet or something, and it was just like headline, like ERRA releases a new song and it sounds just like every other ERRA song ever released.
That was the Twitter page we were talking about, like.
Bro, there is no
Just like
way.
every other ERRA song ever released.
That was the Twitter page we were talking about, like.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
People are fuckwits.
No, it didn't offend me. I like the song.
On an I'm saying,
But
you're a fuckwit. If you see this interview, yeah, but
well,
it's clickbait.
it's
It's like,
well, what's funny about that is I was like, this is definitely like kind of a different vibe for us. Like, like
Yeah.
Future is definitely.
You
a
did not
different
get
vibe.
like if you hear Cure and think that, I'm like you're not
Listening.
You're not listening
You're
very
not
hard.
listening. You're hearing, but you're not listening.
Yeah.
I think people who are like attuned to ERRA and like listen to ERRA and like have heard all our records, they will hear this and be like, this is a little different. Like all of our friends we've showed, they're like, it's definitely different.
Yeah.
But what they've said along with that is, it's also very much an ERRA record. Like it's
That's one of the
fully
things
an
that I
ERRA
said
record.
to Nath. I was like, because we've spoken about it a bit together.
we talk outside the channel. Don't know if you guys know that.
Yeah.
We're
Despite what you see
we're real
on screen,
friends.
we are actually friends. Yeah.
We're buddies.
Yeah, that's one of the things I said.
Fucking JT, dude.
I said, it sounds like
Oh my
ERRA,
God.
but it's at the same time so different. And in a scene where you see bands like Bring Me the Horizon and Architects do these huge shifts that people really call them out on, it's a pretty probably like unintentional feat by you guys to still sound like ERRA, but sound so completely different.
And I think it's because I think the reason why this record still does sound like us and is different is because of what I said earlier, just like approaching the song based off of what the song calls for and what it needs, and not forcing the big soaring chorus or forcing the solo or forcing this or that because there's an expectation from the fan base. Because that, in my opinion, is one of the reasons why Neon is not one of my more. It's my least preferred ERRA record. I'll put it that way.
Ooh.
But part of that is because with the Neon, it was coming
Neon.
off of Drift. People like Drift. Drift was kind of a shift in sound for us in a really good direction, in my opinion. And with Neon, I had these like internal rules in my head of like, well, we need to do this because this sounds more like what we would do on Drift, or like, well, if we're gonna do this dark, kind of like heavy song, we got to put in an ERRA chorus to make it work, like
Yeah.
Valhalla, you know, like. But on the self-titled, I was like, I don't want to do that because I think that actually hurt the songwriting to just like be accidentally catering to fan expectations and not doing what we want to do or doing
Well,
what
it
the
sets
song
them up
calls
to
for.
expect and feel entitled to a sound that they want in further records, and I think that's
It makes
the
you
hard
sound
part.
predictable too.
Yeah, for
like,
sure.
It's like,
It's
well, now
safe
you know
and
exactly
comfortable.
what we're gonna do. You know, we're gonna have this big chorus.
Yeah, that's like the worst thing to do for, well, for me specifically, any genre, or especially the rock genre. I feel like the singing genre, it is kind of predictable to a certain extent, and I feel like in that genre, it's like it's kind of okay. I mean, you know, singing is different than rock stuff, but in rock, if it's like extremely predictable, it's not fun to listen to. You know, well, that's just me.
Or whatever, but like with like Valhalla, I would say on the self-titled, a song like Scorpion Hymn.
I feel like that's why I don't really enjoy rap, because some of it, or majority of it, is like it's extremely predictable.
Scorpion Hymns is kind of the way that I would have written Valhalla off of Neon. To where like I wouldn't have thrown the chorus in, I wouldn't have done just sort of the
Yeah.
melodic stuff, because like Scorpion Hymn doesn't need that. Scorpion Hymn just needs to be a heavy song.
It's kind of like what you did with Crawl Backwards. Had like 2 or 3 variations before you
Crawl
finished that song.
Backwards is a good example too. Like
Yeah.
like if you threw in like a soaring ERRA like Seosin style chorus and Crawl Backwards, it would ruin the song. That's just not what the song calls for. The song needs to be grimy and gross, and like, and the lyrics too, like, you know, we write the lyrics based off of the sound and energy of the song, and like Crawl Backwards Out of Heaven, those lyrics are fucking awesome. I'm so
yeah,
proud
I'm
of
excited
that.
to perform that song.
But it's like grimy and it's dark, and it's just like, oh, this is so. It's like there's a sadness to it. It's almost like that, like black metal, where it's like it's heavy metal music, but it's like there's something like deeply melancholy to it.
It does stand out when Jay and I spoke the other day. I was like, initial songs, there was 2 that I could be like, these are the first 2 standouts for me, and that was one.
Yeah.
And then the second track, I think only because we'd heard Cure a bunch.
Right.
So by the time I got to that was like the first like standout to me because I'd heard the other track before. But yeah, Crawl
It's
Back.
got the second track has a familiar ERRA vibe to it as well, while still sounding progressive.
Yeah,
Yes.
that was kind of intentional too. It was like tracks 2 and 3, Rumor of Light, Idlewild. We're like, all right, like we'll front load these a little bit just so people know like we're still here, we're still doing that.
Yeah.
But then like once you get to like track 4 on, it's like anything can happen. At that point,
Start
like
getting
on the
like
record, like
the more like dance.
What song is
elements
it?
through
We're
there,
probably gonna
electronic
we're
elements
probably
and
gonna
things
end
like that.
Yeah.
Caught me by surprise, and I know you guys have dabbled with sounds in the past, but I was like, oh, hold on a second.
Well,
that's a little
that's the-
Matcha?
yeah.
Okay.
A little what?
That's the benefit.
Dan.
That's definitely the benefit of having Dan Bronstein produce, because he's
Man, I
like,
have 5 minutes.
like very, very good with production and
Yeah,
those kind of sounds. Like that, like dance section and Slow Sour Bleed. Like that's Dan just working with sounds and putting stuff together. You know?
That,
let him cook.
when
let
it
him
gets released, is going straight on my synthcore playlist.
cook. Nice.
Just because that's where it fits in. I heard it, I was like, whoa, got another addition to the playlist.
Which was
Crawl Backwards is a song too. Like he added so much character to Crawl Backwards by adding all the grimy effects, and then when the song ends, like it's actually playing backwards. Like that was that's sort of the magic of Dan. Is he's like adding all these like little touches to like add character.
Dan the Magic Man.
Dan the Man.
Yeah.
Which were for you guys?
I don't want to be rude. We are running out of time really fast. They need to
Yo!
Leave the lobby.
They didn't even get to. Oh man, yo, I feel like we barely got like the tip of the iceberg.
Goodbye.
6
Yeah.
minutes. Yeah.
Damn.
See,
Yeah.
that's the problem. When
Yeah.
you hang with friends, you have a good time.
Let me ask
That
my
was good.
final question.
Okay, ask you one question.
Which were the most difficult tracks for you guys individually to record, and which was the most difficult as a band collectively to record, or to get that final product out of?
Which was the most difficult to record?
Yeah, well,
Or the
to
one that
get
took the
right in
most
the
time?
studio.
Here took a while, for the end at least, to get right.
Yeah, that song kind of wrote itself though, because like
And that was the last one we recorded too.
Yeah.
Oh.
I would say.
Wave took a little bit.
Oh, easy.
Yeah.
Blue Reverie, like.
Oh, those takes. Oh yeah.
Well, that, but,
Yeah.
but just like getting that song to its final product, like that song like changed keys and modes, and I had that main opening riff, like I had that riff for a couple of years and just didn't know what to do with it. So there's like a lot of different versions of that song that kind of happened before
That's
Blue
fun.
Reverie.
I like when
that
you have
song.
that because then those songs can remix down the track.
Yeah, I love
and
that
you
song
can
as
do
well.
it and
It's
you're
great.
like,
It's a
oh, have this
beautiful
now.
song.
Yeah.
It's really nice.
Thanks. Yeah, that one's.
Who are these guys? These guys seem the breakdown with Nath and Johnny. These guys seem chill as
That
fuck.
one's cool. It's like Incubus vibes. That's
Yeah.
or Dan calls it the Urban Outfitters song.
I even got like slight Perfect Circle vibes in the album.
Yeah, you said
Yeah,
that to me.
yeah. No, there's definitely like Tool influence is definitely on this record, and we like a Perfect Circle also. Like, I mean, and Pussifer, like we like all those projects.
I'm glad this is going to come out after the album drops because everyone's going to be like, well, gonna hate this album. I'm not even talking about breakdowns at all. But there are some crushing, fucking heavy moments. There's a lot of really crushing
Yeah, I think
moments.
they're the things you don't need to talk about because, like you said, you know there's going to be those moments. You've got your vocals, which just speak for themselves.
A massive on this album as well, by the way.
The thing I'll say about the what your kind of address your question is, Dan didn't care as much about like me kind of going buck wild on like lows and highs. He was listening for nuance and tonality, and there was a lot of like, that wasn't it. And I was like, I crushed it. He's like, no, that's not what I'm looking for. And he'll have me do it again. He's like, that's what I want. I'm like, okay. And like it took me a while to kind of figure out his method,
cool.
but it did add a lot to the takes and the nuances of all the screams.
It's always cool when you can actually hear that
he just hears it
better for
differently.
you and, and
That's
just
cool.
rather than taking it personally as if like
He'll hear it too though.
I want to say
as
my
well.
favorite take on the record of yours,
Which
and it's
is,
also my favorite lyrics,
isn't it
which
crawl?
I wrote, but.
Isn't it crawl?
I nailed
I know
it.
it's crawl.
But it's my favorite vocal performance of your. That song is my favorite vocal performance
From the
that you've ever
beginning.
done. Yeah, wake into the dark from a comatose nightmare, to live and die bleeding within a crude miracle.
Yeah, I'm very proud of that as well. But
That
that's
sounds
so thank you for
Shakespearean.
setting.
It's
Thank you for the alley oop so I could dunk it.
Oh, what a team!
well, it's like when the like it's how could you not say those words and not sound pissed off?
Yeah, it's just like this face when you're like, ugh.
I feel like I listened with that
The
face
grime.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah, stank face.
the
Yeah.
same face. Yeah.
Well, dude,
Hopefully
thanks,
there's
man.
Thanks so
plenty of
much. We
stank
love you
face
guys.
across
We love the
record.
album.
Yeah, we genuinely love you guys.
Love you.
Yeah.
So I tried to go into this not thinking about. It's Connor. Come on, show your face. You can come.
He's not going to, is he? He's going to stand
Yeah,
over
we
you.
got-
I try to listen to this with like putting aside
Too cool.
my affections for you guys as people to just be like just listeners
Good.
to music because
Yes, please do that.
yeah, you can get. I feel like I get tainted by it sometimes. Being like, but I just love them so much. Just wanna
I'll be a
so-
forever
but,
decorator, I don't care.
All bias aside, it's fucking sick. You, like, you
Thanks,
crushed
dude.
it. I
Appreciate it.
I'm really
But it was
proud
a
of
solid
what you've
album,
done,
so,
and
you know.
should be. And I'm so excited for people to hear it. And they only have to wait not that long, which is cool.
Not at all. No.
Yeah.
I mean, by the time this is out, you won't be waiting at all. It's out. So yeah, enjoy.
Thanks, guys. Get out of the bed. You've got a rock and roll show to play.
I'm going
I'm
to bed.
stiff.
Get out.
Okay. Yeah, that was dope as fuck, man. I love ERRA. Album was so amazing. Hopefully they do more podcasts or they do more interviews because it's nice getting to know the band, especially if they're talking about the albums and all that. So that was nice.